So greetings from Pennsylvania once again, and look what we have. Another iron furnace back there in the brush. This is called the Big Pond iron furnace. So I spent today filming here in Michaux State Forest. We were down in Pine Grove Furnace State Park earlier today looking for ruins, and then we were at Camp Michaux, you know, the old World War II interrogation camp. So I thought we'd check out this one place here too. I saw it on the map, on my map, Purple Lizard Maps. I guess I'll show you in a minute where this location is. The only thing is, I see private property signs here, so I'm not sure. I guess we'll just, I was hoping to get, you know, I like to get up and close with these furnaces, but maybe we won't be able to do that with this one. Not sure if it's just a property on either side or if it's the whole thing or is private property, but when in doubt, we'll just stay out. All right, so here's a map of the northern part of Michaux State Forest. Of course, this is some Purple Lizard Maps. And earlier today, we were here in Pine Grove Furnace State Park. Then we drove up to, we filmed up here at Camp Michaux, right here. And we made our way, boom, 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 all the way up here to Big Pond Furnace. So this is a dirt road here, Hogshead. What's the name? Hogshead Road. But yeah, here's a Big Pond Road. So it's right in there is where it is. Yeah, so like I said, unfortunately, I'd love to get in there, but just being unsure of what the status is. I know a preservation group bought this land. This land was up for sale, and people were worried that whoever bought this was just going to destroy it. But a group bought it. I'll try to put their name down below here, but you can see part of it did collapse up there, and you can see a big crack down the side. That's what happens to these things. They just, and even on the other side, you see cracks in it all over the place. But yeah, I'd love to go into that opening in there and film, but we'll refrain. So yeah, so this one I've never been to before. You know, in this series, I'm trying to alternate between ones I've filmed before and ones I haven't, and this one I've not been to before. All right, yeah, I just want to get in there. But the land down there is part of Michaux State Forest, and the head race that brought the water to the furnace, you know, the water that was used to operate the bellows, you can, from what I've read, you can see that going off down to Michaux State Forest. So you might go look for that just a little bit later. Might be one thing we can get up and close and personal to. But yeah, so behind me once again is the first, there's a hill behind it, because remember they would load these things from the top, so you had to have a hill to have that bridge from the hill to the top of the furnace where they would load it. And we're here in Michaux State Forest. There's plenty of wood to make charcoal, so this is a charcoal furnace, not an anthracite coal furnace. And there's iron ore. We're in what's called like the South Mountains sometimes area. There's lots of iron ore in this area. In fact, that's why there's so many furnaces in Michaux State Forest. There's Caledonia furnace. There's one at Pine Grove Furnace. There's one at Mont Alto. There's one up in Boiling Springs. So plenty of charcoal and plenty of iron ore. And that head race that brought the water to the furnace, I think goes off that way. So we should, like I said, we should be able to drive up down further and be able to see it up in the woods up there. Yes, this was built in 1836 and operated until about 1880. It was owned by I think the Crane Iron Company. And in fact, in 1879 they had just they had refurbished it and put a new brick lining, because remember they have a brick lining on the inside for fire brick. You know, there's the stone and then the brick lining. Now it's replaced. But then in 1880 there was a big fire here. There were other buildings over here that were part of the operation, but they all burned down. There was I think a pile of charcoal caught fire and burned the buildings down, and so right after they refurbished the furnace, everything burned down. So the fire brick, I guess, never really experienced fire in this one. That's another reason why I'd love to get in there and just show it to you, but oh well. So it's cool that it was bought by a group that's going to preserve it. It won't get, you know, like torn down, but at the same time, if some work isn't done on it soon, it's going to come down anyway. And there's some things they could do. They could probably even, that's the stone up there that fell from up there, they could probably even redo that a little bit. It costs money, it takes time, but they might want to consider doing something soon. Because every winter, you know, water gets in those cracks, and in the winter it freezes, and that's part of what causes the rocks to expand. And if any trees or shrubs grow on there, the roots get in there too and just spread everything apart. All right. And just notice they do have some of the slag sitting up here. Remember, the slag is the byproduct. This is stuff that floated to the top. Remember, they used limestone. They put iron ore, charcoal, and limestone. Remember, the limestone would combine with the waste products and form that calcium silicate, I think it was, and form this slag stuff. A little bit there. Oops. Yes, this is the more bubbly, pumice-looking piece. This is the more glassy, shiny stuff that would go to the top, I believe. Of course, out front is where the pig iron would pour out then. So it'd be cool to get inside, but we'll have to settle for this, I guess. I mean, maybe they wouldn't mind if I did, but anyway, like I said, I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's go see if we can find the head race, or at least part of it. Like I said, I read it goes quite a ways up into Michaud State Forest. We don't have time to follow it a long distance today. I'm running out of daylight, but we can at least see. So somewhere up there, there's a creek down here, so that head race has to go pretty far, I think, off into the woods to bring water to this point. So let's go drive down a little bit, see if we can find a section of that. Yeah, so I came down the road just a little bit. So I'm a little out of breath. I ran up this hill here. Yeah, so the furnace is that way. A little parking right down there, but right here indeed is the head race that would take in water down to the furnace. See, it clearly goes all the way down there and continues all the way back there. I'm not sure how far this goes, man, because there's water down there, but wow, quite a feat just to build this alone. Yeah, so up that way is the furnace. Alright, cool that we at least can get a view of this. Alright, that was cool. So we did get to drive. I drove back over that hill. There's a place to pull off. There's a bridge down there that's washed out, so you can only go so far, but just up that way then was the head race. So it would have indeed come all the way over here to the furnace. So there's one last look at her. The Big Pond iron furnace. Well, then this will probably end up being a bit of a shorter video. Like I said, I was hoping to get inside and show you the brick on the inside. I even remembered to bring a flashlight today, but then I don't get to use it. But you know what? We found it. It's still standing. A group has bought it that's preserving it. It's not going to be torn down, so those are all pluses. We'll take all that. We don't get to go inside, but still some good things about this. All right. I'm gonna head home. I'm running out of daylight. I had a great day out here exploring, but I'm hungry and cold, a little bit tired. So, all right, as always, thanks for coming along, and I'll see you on the next adventure.